What is up, our friends in film fandom, wherever you may be and however you may be watching and or listening? We appreciate you being here and giving us just a little bit of your time. We are, of course, The Harsh Truth, and I am obviously not Frank. Frank's going to sit this one out because old man Bones had to take a rest. So that's totally fine with the two of us because, I mean, if you read the title and you see the thumbnail, you probably have two of the best people who will gush over this movie probably for the next 4 hours, but we'll try not to. But what's going on, everybody? Yeah, so I'm obviously not Frank, but here with me, obviously, in he got all prettied up and
I
did
got all
that just
prettied
for
up
us.
for you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He put his face on tonight. We have the shape from
Oh
the
yeah,
Lone Star State. We have Tex in the house, being the prettiest woman of the ball. How are you tonight, sir?
I am. I did have some work done. Hopefully, it looks good. I even got new hair, so I'm all fashionable and whatnot. So hopefully, it looks good. So.
It's that Texas heat just gives you that natural volume.
Right.
Where the hell this heat? Oh goddamn! Of course, first person in here is of course my own mother, which is always cool to see.
What's up, BJ?
My wife is somewhere.
She
Somewhere.
is.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't. I mean, I've got the shirt from Spirit Halloween, I think last year.
Oh hell yeah.
The American Gothic version of Sally and Leatherface, which was the funniest shit to me. So I had to have that. My mask is somewhere. I have that same mask that Tex has somewhere in the garage. I have the full
Pretty
outfit
lady.
of
The Trick or Treat Studios deluxe version of it. It's pretty good.
Oh
Not
yeah,
bad.
I spent some good money on that mask, and it's totally
I
worth it.
think this one was like $75
I think
when I bought it some time ago. So
70 sounds about right. I think I spent about 70 on
yeah,
mine, and then
yeah.
probably collectively maybe I don't
I've
know
got the
50, 60
killing
on
mask
soup.
as well, but I couldn't fucking find it, so I just pulled this one out. And, here we are. So it's all
Oh,
good.
there she is. Look at that is nope. Damn it! I'm getting leg sweep my mom off. There she is.
There's Rachel.
There we go. All right. So we are here. Where's the thumbnail? There we go. I'll get this right one of these days. All right. So as you may have guessed, or if anyone had seen yesterday, August 18th was in fact Texas Chainsaw Day,
Hell
being that is the date in which the 1974 film takes place. Therefore, cementing that date as Texas Chainsaw Day. And with that being yesterday, and we figured, hey, why not re-review this movie for today? It seemed like the perfect fit. So let's get these notes back up here. Okay. Okay, and I'm going to say this the correct way because there's behind the scenes reasons as to why I'm going to say it like this, and it just makes me so mad. The Texas Chain Saw Massacre
yeah.
is a 1974 American independent horror film produced, co-composed, and directed by Tobe Hooper, who co-wrote it with Kim Henkel. The film stars Marilyn Burns, Paul A. Partain, Edwin Neal, Jim Siedow, and of course the late and always great Gunnar Hansen. The plot
Yep.
follows a group of friends who fall victim to a family of cannibals while on their way to visit an old homestead. The film was marketed as being based on true events to attract a wider audience and to act as a subtle commentary on the era's political climate. The Texas Chain Saw Massacre was released in the United States on October 11th of 1974. While the film initially received mixed reception from critics, it was highly profitable, grossing over $30 million at the domestic box office, equivalent to roughly over $158.8 million as of 2019, selling over 16.5 million tickets in 1974. Yeah, that's not peanuts. Holy crap. It has since become widely regarded as one of the best and most influential horror films, and it is credited with originating several elements common to the slasher genre, including the use of power tools as murder weapons, and the characterization of the killer as a large, hulking, masked figure. And, of course, we have the trope of the final girl. Rotten Tomatoes reports that 84% of critics gave it a positive review with an average score of 8.2 out of 10. The site's critical consensus states, quote, thanks to a smart script and documentary-style camera work, the Texas Chain Saw Massacre achieves a start-to-finish suspense, making it a classic in low-budget exploitation cinema. End quotes. That was a lot of reading. But, yeah, I definitely agree with that. There's not anything in there that I think I would change or disagree with. Tex would we both love this movie. I mean, nothing that we're not gonna gush about for the next like 2 hours. But you want to give me some quick thoughts before we really dive head deep into the head cheese, as it were?
Oh, you gotta love that head cheese, because that gun.
Yeah. It's real good. No good. My brother makes it good.
Right. That gun's no good. You gotta hammer it. Wow. Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting into
with a sledge.
I'm getting into hitchhiker mode. Sorry,
maybe I should have
back up.
I should have put like the blood on my face, like been the hitchhiker or something. Maybe I should have done that.
Right. Yeah, just do your best Charles Manson impression, because that's what the hitchhiker was. Yeah. This is the best movie ever made. The most by far one of the most influential films ever done. This film, I was just telling Jeremy a minute ago. I mean, hell, we both went and saw it in theaters last night. There was like almost 80 something people that paid to see this in theaters when they could have watched it home for free on the internet for a 51-year-old film. Like, this is not just a movie. This is a event. This is a piece literally in the National Film Registry. For a slasher horror fic to get to that level, that shows something. If you look into the history and the lore of Texas Chain Saw Massacre, just look at it from the financial perspective. We don't even really know how much money this movie made, because the original distribution company was owned by the Partain brothers, who were mafia and were cloning this movie and sending it out all over the place. To this day, we do not have a accurate money count for this movie. This movie was on the video nasties list across the pond until the year 2000. And then they're like, oh, we're sorry. Now all you British people can watch this film. This film is a cultural landmark that people go out of their way to go to the locations where this movie was filmed, me being one of them. There's so much we're going to talk about in this review. God knows where we're going to go with it, because like Jeremy said, we're super fans of this. There's movies and then there's events. This movie is event level cinema. And yeah, by far, this is an incredible film. I can't wait to break it
down. Yeah, there are some wild stories sometimes if you look into behind the scenes of how movies were made, or like he's talking about with the budget. And yes, you heard correctly, the mafia was involved. There's a lot of crazy. There's a lot of crazy.
They literally call them the Piranha Brothers. Were in charge of distributing this movie. Like that, what more perfect is that? Come on.
That should tell you something. Even stuff like as immersed as I was in this movie. I mean, I've seen this many times. I watch it every year as a tradition, akin to like what we did yesterday. And I thought, well, that's pretty cool. Usually we just watch it at home. With the 4 copies of the movie that I have. But I was like, hey, if the theater's going to do it, I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen it in the theater. If you get a chance to see this thing in a theater, man, go watch it. Because, I'm like, this, like I said, there are crazy things that, like I said, that are behind the scenes of how movies get made. This one is definitely at the top of the hill, because even, like I said, while I was immersed in it, where you're in the dinner scene, you're in the third act, the shit is going off the rails. Leatherface is like just creeping in on Sally's face. I stopped for a second and I remembered like, oh yeah, they were like throwing up in between takes when they were filming this. I was like, remembering like the crazy thing. Yeah, and there's stipulations about how long they actually filmed that. Some were like, oh, it was like a 12-hour day. One's like, oh, it was like a 36-hour day. Someone's like, it was 24 hours. Whatever. It was a whole long day of being in the Texas heat, and it's a nighttime scene, so they put like big blacked out curtains to make it look dark. And when you get that much taxidermy in a room stewing in that Texas heat, son, it's pretty rank.
Well, not even just the taxidermy, but the animals that they had already used, filled with formaldehyde, that the production assistant, who she was a vet tech or whatever, she was shooting formaldehyde into the animals poked herself with it, and quit the film. They took those same animals outside, set them on fire to get rid of them. Then all of that smoke went and fumes went right back into the house. The food was rotting. It was like 100. It was almost like 120 something degrees in that house while they were shooting. Dude, it's 105 outside right now. I understand
this is the time. This is when this took place. Was in mid-August. Yeah, I can imagine it's hotter than shit.
It is. It's awful. It's bad.
And they're wearing shirts, pants, Leatherface's in a suit. Like, good. Like I said, that they had those same outfits for that. They had one pair of clothes. Imagine they're sweating. Yeah, one pair of clothes.
Yeah, they had one pair of clothes, and Tobe Hooper would not let them be washed in favor of, the color may change. We don't know what's going to happen. Marilyn Burns herself had said multiple times, God rest her soul, she's one of the many people that's passed in this cast. Her pants literally stood up by themselves by the end of shooting. Like, no need, nothing else needed for it. Like the conditions on this movie were something that's bad.
You want to talk about suffering for the art, and I mean, when you really look at it, you can appreciate, like, holy crap, and this is what we got out of it. So,
oh, dude, there's so many.
People.
You talk about suffering for art. The 19-year-old kid who played Grandpa, he was literally scarred for life from the makeup because they didn't understand how to do it right. They literally glued it to his face, and it messed him up forever. Poor Sally, Marilyn Burns, the scene where they cut her finger to feed to Grandpa.
They cut her finger for real.
They had a real knife that they covered with Scotch tape, and then they had a blood tube going up Gunnar Hansen's arm. But after like the 20th time, Gunnar Hansen rips the tape off and really cuts her finger because he's like, F this, we're just doing it. We're getting it done. Like, this was production hell. Oh yeah, dude, it was bad. It was horrible.
I've definitely got a picture of that somewhere. If that's not her, I mean, if not by the end of this review, if we haven't already done every bit of trivia, like, we apologize in advance because we may already do that.
The trivia section is probably not going to be needed on this one because we're going to spill the beans on all of these.
We'll drip feed it to you. I think.
Right.
I just scrolled down. I was like, I think one of the very first one's kind of close to something we just said. So whatever.
Right.
That's fine. But yeah, no, this but all of that said, I think my point that I was getting to is I'm like, the first picture I even have, which is like one of the first shots of the movie, I just called it art, and goddamn if that isn't what this movie is.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, this film is avant-garde. This is a art house cinema picture is what this movie is. This transcends many levels within film.
Yeah, when you open on a shot like this, I'm like, there is something just eerie and just like, and this tone here is, I think, the thing that we've talked about several times is like that almost, it's like, that's not a filter, that's not sepia tone, that's just the sun going down, the orange hue that just fills this film with the hot sun. Like, God damn.
Well, and what's so cool about that shot right there, that sculpture, monolith, whatever you want to call it, Tobe Hooper, I can't remember the man's name who was the production designer, who he literally built this stuff. Basically, Tobe Hooper would go to him and be like, hey, here's kind of what I have in my head, and he would describe the shape and what he wanted, made out of human body parts, yada, yada, whatever. And like the next day, the dude would come back with this. Literally, this entire film, the images that you see, the world that it's set in, it's right out of the mind of Tobe Hooper. The man was a genius, and we'll talk about him later. But just like that statue that's right there, it's art that I would put in my house right now. Like, please and thank you. Yeah, like, I'm down.
That's a yard ornament right there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's going in the front yard. That's what that's going to be.
That's the conversation piece. Right, what's the first? Okay, so the first thing up on the table is Tobe Hooper and the works of Tobe Hooper, as it says. So I mean, given the other stuff he's done, I mean, I'm looking at his thing now, and I see Texas Chainsaw, Texas Chainsaw 2, Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw 3D, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, he's a producer on all. He gets credited for anything Texas Chainsaw.
Oh hell yeah! Even the remakes are there. Something called Life Force. Texas
Life
Chainsaw
Force.
3.
Life Force was a sci-fi horror film. Of course, I'm
Oh,
sure you know the
Poltergeist.
story of Poltergeist, where
Poltergeist.
ever
Yep.
the whole stink of, oh no, that was actually Spielberg that directed. No, that's not what happened. Tobe
No.
Hooper, the God, the man was a genius. Probably my favorite director of all time.
I think that was my yeah. So what do you think about Tobe Hooper? Which I mean I know the answer
Yeah,
already, but
Tobe,
if you want to give me some
the
beef on it.
the man's a legend. Yeah, he's one of the few directors that kind of like Spielberg with something like Jaws. He kind of hit high on his first couple films. His first film, Eggshells, was kind of a hit or miss. I've seen it before, but basically when this movie came out, Texas was wanting to get into the film business, and they wanted Texas-based filmmakers, and basically everybody it was from around from or either from Texas or they were living here. And whenever he did this, he came out of the box with a magnum opus that is still loved today. You know, the whole thing with Poltergeist that I was talking about. He directed Poltergeist. Tobe Hooper did. Steven Spielberg was a friend of his he came to set one day and he was shooting some B-roll and the media happened to see Spielberg doing it. So of course Tobe Hooper did not get that credit. And even after his death, God rest, Tobe Hooper's soul, people still credited Spielberg with that film when it was actually Tobe Hooper. But some other of his work that I love Eaten Alive. It's the film that he did right after this. It's in a swamp hotel, basically. Clown House is another good one. The dude did so much good horror. He worked with Robert Englund a few times. Oh, I can't remember what.
Nice.
Was it twice? I can't remember all that he did. But Tobe Hooper, the man never got his just due. And what makes it even worse, the day that Tobe Hooper died was the day that Hurricane Harvey hit Texas. So even mourning him got overshadowed. And that sucked so bad. Because, I mean, for anybody who saw how bad Hurricane Harvey was when it hit down here, it wiped out so much. So many things were underwater. But yeah, Tobe Hooper, the man's a legend. If it's not for Tobe Hooper and his work, I'm not the person that I am today. So much of his work has affected me, and I love everything that the man did. And saying thank you is not enough. It's not a big enough response to what Tobe Hooper
Oh yeah. If you want to know something cool here, I actually clicked on Poltergeist from the list of his movies here. I scrolled down and it says director Tobe Hooper, and underneath that it says story by Steven Spielberg. I'm like, oh, well, see,
well,
at least they know.
it was
like,
so
hey,
bad
no,
back in the day. Steven Spielberg had to take out a full page in the Hollywood newspapers, literally a full page, and he wrote this letter of giving Tobe Hooper the credit. But it's Steven Spielberg. He's probably the biggest director of at least the modern
I was
cinema.
gonna say, like he needs any more. Yeah, I mean,
right? He doesn't need Poltergeist. He's got everything else. But so many people. Oh well, actually, it was Spielberg. He's the better guy. Tobe Hooper just never got the love that he deserved while he was alive. And unfortunately, he was one of those artists that he was more loved in death than he was once while he was here to appreciate it. But the whole term, a cult following, that's not big enough for what Tobe Hooper has. The man has masses of legion that love his work, and us being two of them. But yeah, it's awesome.
That's what kind of sucks sometimes. It's like sometimes the art isn't necessarily appreciated in its entirety or as widespread, or maybe looked at in a different light with, unfortunately, even like a few generations removed. Like you think about what guy with the ear, Van Gogh.
Yeah, like, Van Gogh. Yeah,
no one Yeah, I mean, now you say Van Gogh and you're like, oh yeah, that's a Mount Rushmore of artists right there. But it's like in his day, there nothing. No one really understood his work or really appreciated it until, unfortunately, like long after he's passed. So it kind of sucks to see that kind of thing happen. But like, it's like at least it's nice to know that it is there. Like you said, I mean, I'm again looking at these movies. About 15 of them are Texas Chainsaws, but I'm like, yeah, that doesn't happen for no reason. I mean, Jesus Lord, I don't know how much you want to talk about a boxing match of the century for the most like screwed up timeline. It's Texas Chainsaw versus Halloween. I'm telling you, because
dude, yeah.
What you want to talk about retcons and sequels and pre-sequels and sequels that weren't really a thing and beginnings and origins and what?
It's
I don't even know anymore. And then their
I
legacy
pride
sequels are the
myself.
same damn movie.
I pride myself on being one of the few people that can definitively break those timelines down accurately and actually tell you which one belongs to what. But that literally took me years of watching and learning and just loving these films in order to do, because it is so screwed up. It's like you said, it's like Halloween, Texas Chainsaw, and like the X-Men movies. Good luck figuring it out. They are all over. It's like, oh, well, this one's kind of connected, but not really. And it's kind of like how James Gunn's doing with the new DC. Well, some of the old stuff is, some's not. We'll just figure it out as we go. But on the other hand, with this Texas Chainsaw movie, it shows you how good the first one was, because not only do they keep going back to it they keep going back to this film because of its relevance and how good
this is like the anchor being of that
yes.
franchise. Like this is the movie that's the centerpiece, as it should be.
Yes, this is the anchor planet of the multiverse of Texas Chainsaw. Sure, of course we have like the 03 spinoffs with the Hewitts, which I love the 03s. I love Texas Chainsaw 2003 as much as I do 74. I hold them A1 and A2, but the relevance of this movie, literally 51 years later, they make more merch for a 51-year-old movie now than modern movies today get made. Literally, he's wearing it, I'm wearing it. It's on my walls, it's on my shelf. It is literally, it's old stuff doesn't get merch. Every once in a while, you'll see a Dracula figure, a Frankenstein, or whatever. But the good ones stick around.
For a second, because I have Texas Chainsaw, the video game, right there. I figured that.
There you go. It got a recent video game. There's, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is, it's a piece of history. Yeah, I am so happy that this movie got put into the National Film Registry, because this movie is our and other multiple generations. Frankenstein, Dracula. This is our universal monster. This is what we're going to be watching this movie in 50 years if we're still alive. This movie will last. It's lasted this long. It's going to make it another 50 years. And it's,
about that. If I see that day 50 years from now and I'm in 2074, I'm like, I'll still be watching this 100-year-old movie like it's the first time.
Yeah. If in another 50 or in another 49 years, if I'm alive and able to go to the movie theater and go watch it on the big screen, guess what? They're going to pull me out of my nursing home and take me to the theater to watch this movie.
Well, you and I are going to have every damn decade like anniversary as a show.
I've got so many. I've got the original VHS. I've got DVDs. I've got Blu-rays. The only one I don't have is the 50th edition that comes in the chainsaw that actually makes sound. Because I don't have $300 free for that. So anybody wants to send me $300 for Texas Chainsaw money, I'll be happy to take it. But
make it 6. Yeah, I want one too.
Yeah, make it 6. We'll need Jeremy both get one. There you go.
I do.
But yeah, this movie's poetry.
Even Leatherface is a Fortnite skin. I mean, you know what? That's true.
That's what I'm saying. Literally, this face right here, that face changed everything. It's
he's also a character in the video game Dead by Daylight.
Dead by Daylight. He had his own game.
I tried to, then their own. Yeah. I tried to play as them, and it's not. I was like, I love my boy, but he kind of sucks. The mechanics in the game, I was like, now to be fair, Michael Myers was better because it had a really broken system of like line of sight, basically. Because you know how Michael works. He walks like
through the eye holes. Right.
Yeah, the way it worked in the game is like if you see someone, a player, you'll start walking faster the more you keep someone in line. So the way to defeat Michael is basically get around a corner. But if you get on a straight line, I'm going to steamroll you. I'm like, Michael was so overpowered. That's why I used him instead of Leatherface. I'm sorry, but I'm like, man, this big lumbering fuck, I can't do anything with him. Unless they're like right on. I'll get
well, it's almost kind of perfect though. I mean, look at the way it just, and I'm not talking about like the Thomas Hewitt version of Leatherface. That's like super OP. Like there's no getting away from that guy. But this version, Bubba Sawyer, Junior, Leatherface, whatever you want to call it, he has multiple names within this first iteration of the character.
Yeah.
He's chaos. I mean, Texas. That's one of the beauties of this film is like when Sally jumps out the window to run away. Normally in a horror film, that's when you're safe for a little while. Not in this film. You see Junior up in the second floor. He comes running out. He's not like Michael Myers that he'll wait to catch you down the road when you're not expecting it. He's coming down those stairs flying. He's going to cut that door open, for Jim Siedow to come up. Look what your brother did to the door. He will tear his house apart to kill you. That's what makes him so scary. And we could spend hours just breaking down the multi-personality monster that is Leatherface. That's why he has 3 different faces in this film. You're dealing with 3 different people. It's crazy.
That's true. I am trying to spell this right. I'm back on that damn side again. I'm trying to spell this.
Oh, yeah.
Here, you know what? I'll even put it up for everybody. There's a reason why I said it that way. Because and I was trying to do my best John Larroquette voice of it because
John Larroquette,
the Texas Chain Saw Massacre, because apparently it's 2 words, not 1 word. I don't know.
It isn't the original. Others, it's which, and even in this film, it's kind of hard to see that it is 2 separate words because, like, depending on the font, it looks like it's all like if they use the that font. Well, not that one, but the others picture the one that's our background. If you look at the way the text is, you can see how if it's all uppercase, it makes it all 1 word. So that's where the differential, the hard part is. But since you brought up John Larroquette, basically at this point in time, Night Court had happened, the John Larroquette show, none of those things. He hadn't done those things yet. He was basically a struggling actor out in Hollywood, and the movie was already done. And basically, Tobe Hooper, he wanted a Orson Welles voice, is what he was looking for to.
That would have been wild. I rember that it could have been Orson Welles.
Yeah. He wanted he basically, because John was he was an out of work actor at the time, and somebody knew him who knew Tobe, and he was like, "Hey, can you do an Orson Welles impression?" He's like, "Yeah, sure, of course." Because he's an out of work actor. He would have said, "Yeah, hey, can you do kick flips and karate chops?" He would have said, "Yeah, too." And that's how John Larroquette got this job. And he does it so well. And not just this movie, but he narrates the Oath. He came back for the 03 and the beginning, which is the sequel or the prequel to the 03 film.
Yeah.
Now, every Texas Chainsaw has a opening crawl Star Wars style with the overlay of the words, but none of them are as good as the John Larroquette voice. He just adds. It almost feels like, which contributes to this is real. We're watching a snuff film. This is a documentary we're watching here because of stuff like that. It's just so good that he did it that way.
And I never knew that he was actually. I mean, it's like technically I knew who that was because weird deep cut, but he was the bad guy in the Macaulay Culkin film Richie Rich. He was the guy trying to steal.
I never saw that movie. I never saw that.
I mean, you'll know it because you'll hear that unmistakable voice. I was just like, I never put that together yet. I watched that movie as a kid. I mean, I loved Richie Rich, and then I didn't know until later. I was like, oh, that was that guy's first job was narrating Texas Chainsaw. Holy, I mean, hell, that's cool.
I first noticed it outside of Texas Chainsaw, like back in the day with my parents watching Night Court. And you heard Bull talk, which was his character on that show. And I'm like, wait a minute, I know that voice. And for years, I could not piece it together until I saw, like, starring, credits after the show or whatever. I'm like, oh shit, that was blah 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 from Chainsaw, whatever. But yeah, it's such a good because it. Yes, other horror films have had stuff like that, but when you start out this movie with that voice, it feels like you're watching a true crime documentary, and it just sets it apart from so many other films. It's so
good. Right. Also, I can't scroll on the pictures. That's super cool.
Oh, lovely.
That's
thank you, StreamYard.
Yeah, I tried to find, just an extra little picture of like Sally escaping, but no, I can't do that. Oh, I can scroll on the comments. I can see.
And of course, I guess we'll say hi to Casey needs clout, and he needs to buy fake viewers. But he had to show up here to, yeah.
Oh, see, you don't understand, Casey. We don't. In the most respectful manner. It's not like we need Frank, but Frank trusts us to make this.
No, Frank was here. Unfortunately, Frank's job hates him, so they made him do extra work today. So, but that's fine. We are overqualified to carry this ball into the end zone and go win the Super Bowl. That's fine. That's not a problem. So,
hold on. Well, no, my mouse didn't die.
What the hell? See, Casey shows up and the whole thing goes to shit. Thanks a lot.
The whole thing goes to shit.
That couldn't be.
No, we're not. No, this is exactly why we're not going to help you, Casey. That's why. So God forbid I get help like this. Although you know what I did? I did hear a text from Frank the other day. He said he wanted me to come play Fortnite with you and Tex, and I think Frank's words were, "Do you want me to help? You want to help me carry this fool through the game?" I'm like,
well, that's the thing with this chainsaw thing. It's while you're doing what's so funny about it is now one question I do have for you: growing up where you did, of course, outside of Texas, kids talk about this stuff when they first see it. Did kids around you talk about like, oh, that wasn't a movie, that was real? Like, did you experience that as a child?
Kind of. I mean, yeah, when you put that phrase in front of a movie, that it's like, when you flat out just say it's a true thing that happened, it's like, well, that does kind of give you you kind of think like, oh Jesus, did that really happen? And it's like, when you look into it, like, technically kind of it happens. This exactly didn't happen,
right?
But yeah, when you're a kid and you're kind of impressionable, you're like, oh my God, what the hell? I don't know about that. I mean, you reminded me of a time of a story that I can tell quick, and it's about Halloween. So bear with me.
Well, it's all good.
The movie, not the holiday. No.
Speaking of another Texas Chain Saw movie, do you think? Because if you know, you know.
Well, I don't think that's what I was paying attention to with that movie.
Me neither. Sorry. Me neither. Not at all.
At all. It must be really hot in Texas because apparently she don't.
No fucking shit. No fucking shit.
But it was when I was little and we were in I think we're still in Cub Scouts, so I was like, I don't know, like 10, 11 maybe at the high end. But this was, if I can remember, I could probably remember if I looked at the date, but this was right around the time that Halloween Resurrection came out. So like I was a little kid, and we were in like this kid. I mean,
so about 2000 or so.
Yeah, I was like, it was real. Yeah, that had to be because 98, right? Was H2O.
Yeah.
And then after that was Resurrection. Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
about 2000.
So, yeah. So, and then the kid that was in our it's not a troop, it's not a crew. What the hell is it called when you're a pack? A pack. I still remember when you're a Cub Scout. And we were on this camping trip, and he apparently saw it. I don't know how he did that. So he's like telling us this story. Remember, this is like still we're kids. There's not really the internet. I know, which may all the Gen Zs just clutch their pearls. But you tell stories with your friends and you dick around on campouts, right? You're telling us a story about this thing about Michael Myers. Now, I had no idea what this was, and I was confused because, like, I knew who Mike Myers was. I was like, Shrek? Austin Powers? What? It's confusing when you're a kid. So I was like getting told about Michael Myers, who's this serial killer, and I'm like, huh? I was so confused. And he's just telling us the story of like what this was and like what this meant in the whole, you know, what the movie was about. And we're on this camp out, and weirdly enough, in this camp out, or at this campsite, there was a there's normal campsites, but then there was one. I don't know if it was on purpose, but it was like old school tents, like green, like canvas, like army green,
like canvas. Yeah.
They were like, it was like run down because we had like normal stuff, or like there was like a shelter and like some picnic tables, but then it was like we had our own tents and shit. But this one just run down decrepit camp in the middle of these fucking woods. And do you want to know what that campsite was called? I shit you not, it was called Sleepy Hollow.
Oh shit!
And of course, we're a bunch of dumbass kids. We're hearing this story about this damn serial killer in a movie.
So you're looking for the headless horseman running around.
Yeah, and like we knew about the headless horseman and shit like that. So, you know, we think, oh, that's real. We're like, oh, let's go to the campsite. Let's go there at night. Let's see if we can see the headless horseman. Because I mean, my point was, I'm like, oh, you think that shit's real? Because this dude's gonna come out of the woods looking like Christopher Walken, you know. Man, it was the creepiest shit that I've ever seen. And I don't remember, did I go? I know one kid, like, he was so gung-ho about going. I'm like, right, you'll go, but then when you get in that campsite in the middle of the fucking dark and there's no lights, you're gonna piss your fucking pants and come running back. You can talk a big talk, man, but I'll tell you what.
Well, I asked that question for the reasoning of like when we, of course, you know, we're Texans. This movie is a religion to us down here, and it was one of those things of, you know, on the playground. I don't know, like we used to play the game of, like, we call it Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees or whatever. Basically, you know, one kid is the killer and you go around trying to kill the others. That's the games we would play in, you know, grade school growing up. Some people it was basically tag, but some people called it like Jeffrey Dahmer or Michael Myers. You just picked a killer guy and you went and, you know, you tried to kill the other people. But there was a difference when it came to Texas Chain Saw. Like, kids would swear up and down, oh yeah, my dad's got the newspaper from when this really happened back in the day. So many people grew up thinking this was real. Like, and this was just footage that they took and made a movie into, because it's so different. The look of the film, the feel of it. It's a very characteristic or a charismatic movie in the way of, when you, like, sometimes, like, some people when they first see it, they're bored with it. Others are enamored with it because of the art and the way it looks and the way it feels. Others are scared to death. It hits you in so many ways, and it sticks with you. You remember this one. And this goes back to that anchor point that, you know, we were talking about earlier. This is why this film has lasted and will forever be remembered. It's just, it hits every generation differently. It's crazy.
And Frank saying people were trying to convince him the Blair Witch was real. I'm like, I'm sure that was a thing back in the day too. People think that shit was real. Oh, also this, I know this for a fact. There is a Crystal Lake actually just north of us. Funny enough, I do know that for a fact.
Well, hey,
I was driving back down south, and I was like, I saw the sign for it, and I was like, nope, no.
It's not just Crystal Lake. Don't forget that it has an Elm Street. So, you know,
I'll say every town has an Elm Street. There was an Elm Street not far from where I grew up, and I kid you not.
Hey, you're in the land of Mr. Krueger. So if Robert Englund's hanging around, you'll know. So it's fine.
Well, it was a weird street because it cut in half. It like ended, but then like it kept going on the other side. And I shit you not, at the end of this Elm Street, the house that it's like a T junction. The house at the end of it, I swear to you, looks like the Michael Myers house from the '78 film. I don't know why.
Oh, really?
It just looks exactly like I
kind of like that old wartime home kind of feel to it.
Yeah, and that's what always freaked me out because I thought it looked just like it.
Now, is there any 1428 numbered houses on your Elm Street because if so, buy that fucking place. That would be tremendous to have. So
I don't know. I don't think so. I think they're just 3 digits. That would have been I don't know. Oh Lord. Okay, now that we've beaten that shit to death, and now that I can get my picture to work again.
Just for our viewers, we're apologizing ahead of time. We're going to squirrel fuck the moments out of this.
We're going to be all over.
We're going all over the place. Dad is asleep, or he's watching this from afar, so we're going crazy tonight. So, Dad's over in the corner drunk. He's letting us run the show tonight. So just enjoy the madness. It's all good.
The lunatics are running the asylum, I think. Let me free away the keys. All right, well, next is the cast, and I'm glad I got this shot of all 5.
Oh, yeah. Sally!
Sally! With that definitely totally legit barbecue that's in Franklin's mouth. It's more messed up when you realize, like, later, like, oh, that's not actually barbecue. Well, beef barbecue in the traditional sense.
Hey, barbecue is just technically a term of cooking, not what it actually is.
You know what? As Franklin said, maybe you'd like it better if you didn't know what was in it.
Hey, there's a reason why many people don't want to know how the sausage is made. They'll just
you don't want to know what's in the hot dog. Trust me, you really don't.
Right.
But what do you think?
As my daddy would always say, watch out for those cheap hot dogs because it's all lips and assholes. But that's beside the point. But yeah, as far as the cast goes, I mean, my
cast God. And why is your favorite Gunnar Hansen? Please do it.
God bless Gunnar Hansen, the dude.
Oh God, yes.
Without Gunnar Hansen, we would not have this character. But I mean, Paul Partain, Franklin, my God, the most annoying cripple ever. Like people, he even hated himself while making this movie. Marilyn Burns and him were going to strangle each other on the set. Marilyn Burns, the greatest final
girl. Here, I imagine. She was with a
oh my God, yeah. Dude, it got so bad they wouldn't even speak to each other when the camera wasn't rolling. Like they legitimately hated each other. It was years a little later until they spoke. Marilyn Burns as Sally.
The final girl.
The original, the greatest final girl. So once again, fuck Jamie Lee Curtis and her trauma bullshit, trying to make everything all woke and nonsense. She gets all the credit for being the greatest final girl. And while she's great, she's fine in the original Halloween. Marilyn Burns never got the credit that she deserved. Dude, at the end of, like, she had to go sell cell phone service once she quit acting because she never got the credit that she deserved. Marilyn Burns is the greatest final girl ever. She's not just a victim in this movie. She jumps out of a window. She's fighting. She's trying to get away. She put the work in on this. She's a gorgeous hell. And not just her looks, as gorgeous as she is. She was a smart actress. She was a University of Texas student. She graduated. She stayed on another year at school because she was working for the Texas Film Commission just because she could find out what movies were being made. And Bill Lustig, I think is his name. He was the financier. He was basically a lobbyist for Texas Tech within the government of Texas getting money from the school. He was the one, he owned half of this movie and put up the money for this film. He was dating Marilyn Burns at the time. She set up a tax-free shelter for any film that was starring her. You want to know the studio that produced this film? MAB Productions. Marilyn A. Burns. They named the production company after her.
There you go.
So, Jamie Lee Curtis didn't do that. Marilyn Burns did. And she set the pace for this film. You know, of course, she comes back later on. We see her, I want to say it's in Chainsaw. It's in one of the sequels. I can't remember what she's in, but we get her for a quick second. Franklin is pushing her on the bed. I want to say it's 4. I believe it's
like in the hospital. They go right by, right? Yeah.
In the hospital, yeah. Like they're there for a quick second. If you blink, you miss. I believe it's a New Generation that she's in. but we don't talk about new generations like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Marilyn Burns to me is the greatest thing about this film. She was, for a film that shows no nudity, because Tobe Hooper was trying to get as many eyes. He was trying to get a G rating on this movie so he could have everybody see it. That's why there's no nudity in this film. But you get damn near, because Marilyn Burns is nipping like a motherfucker in this movie the whole damn time.
I don't think I have. I think that first when she gets out of the van, I was like, it didn't catch that moment.
Oh yeah, but headlights are on. Like, you're getting, everything but the whole, but the actual thing.
Yeah.
Marilyn Burns. Yeah, there you go. Headlights, yeah, on that, the Ford Ecoline van. Yeah. Marilyn Burns to me is, it's a toss-up. It's either Marilyn Burns or Jim Siedow as the cook. Hell, Jim Siedow was the only SAG actor in this movie. He was the only, because Tobe Hooper had to pay one actor scale.
He was the only one that had any sort of acting experience. Yeah.
Yeah, because he was an actor, then he got drafted into war, and then he came back home, and him and his wife ended up moving down to Houston, and he was doing I think he was doing radio broadcast or something at the time. And Tobe Hooper knew about him, and he was like, hey, I basically had to pay one guy scale because, he had to have one SAG actor, and it was Jim Siedow. And just so many things about the cook that we could spend forever breaking down here. He's got the same kind of weird twist that Leatherface has. He goes from laughing to, how does it go? I know the killing's necessary, but I don't take no joy in it. And he's like giggling as he's beating her with a fucking bird. The dude's all over the place.
Yeah, that's why I made that my quote. There are just some things you have to do. They don't mean you have to like.
He's assaulting and kidnapping a woman, but he's worried about his light bill being high, so he goes to turn the lights off.
It's humor, but almost even like dark humor. Like he gets her in the truck. It's one whole shot. He gets in, turns the car on, like shit, turns it off, just runs back in, shuts the light off, locks the door. He's like, "Oh, I had to lock up and get the lights. Costs electricity."
Well, and this is
out of business.
Tobe Hooper was going for comedy. He wasn't trying to make the scariest movie ever made. He was trying to make a send up of the post peace and love era of the 60s into what the 70s were. He was going for a satirical look at the family in America at the time. That's why the Hitchhiker is basically Charles Manson. This is considered like a anti-establishment, or not counterculture is the word I'm looking for. Mm-hmm. This is the first counterculture hippie movie. Like Easy Rider is kind of in that same vein. This is what this movie is. There's comedy in this film, just like you were talking about with, I gotta go turn the lights off. Or if you don't laugh when they hand Grandpa the hammer, you don't understand film. That is hilarious to see. It's a send up. Yeah, like if you don't think that's hilarious, just with him constantly messing up, and it's horrific what's happening, but the execution of how he's doing it, that's where the comedy is. Why do you think Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 is so comedic? Because people were too stupid to understand. Hey, I'm not trying to make the scariest movie ever made. I'm trying to make comedy here. That's why the opening poster, or the poster for Texas Chainsaw 2, was literally a send up of the Breakfast Club. That's what Tobe Hooper was going at. It's nuts, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
God, I may know more about this movie than I do anything else. I just realized that.
No, it's fine. It's like you and me have probably watched every, there's documentaries behind the scenes stuff. What little there is, even
over and over again. Yeah.
The stuff they did, stuff they didn't do.
100%.
Where's that picture of Gunnar? There it is. I always love that. See, remember
Pam,
what I said about? Yeah, poor fucking Pam. She didn't really stand a chance. I've said this before when we did, which also when I went to go see this, there was a little snippet of a still shot of Devil's Rejects for its 20th anniversary, and I was like, Jesus Christ, thank you for reminding me that it was 20 years old.
I can't wait.
There's something coming out for that. Something like that. Remember what I said is like that shot, that kind of horrifying shot of that chick running out of the fucking hotel room like in the broad like daylight and the harsh sunlight, just her running out like a maniac. There's something just weirdly unsettling about it, and that's what this reminds. Well, that reminds me of this, where it's like this happens out in the daylight. I mean, yeah, it's bumfuck nowhere, Texas, but like he just nabs her right off the fucking porch, like, and yanks her back into the house. I have a really good shot. Yeah, there it is, and then just right on the meat hook. Yeah,
funny enough, that meat hook right there. That meat hook, I don't believe exists anymore, but another one that was built for this movie actually stands today at the actual gas station location in Bastrop, Texas, where the gas station is. I've seen it. I have pictures of me standing in that same position. I wish I would have sent them to y'all to put in for the deal.
Put them in, yeah.
But yeah, if you ever go to Bastrop, Texas, go to the gas station. That's what it's called. It's the actual filming location of the gas station of where it is.
I want to go to that gas station. Where is the?
They sell.
I want to visit this damn gas station so bad.
It looks just like that. I mean, it's got the Coca-Cola sign. It's got the one red post out on the front.
Fishtail.
It's got the whole thing.
I wanted to remake that sign and just put it in my house somewhere with the fishtail Coca-Cola logo, the We Slaughter barbecue sign.
If you go inside, they sell horror merch and barbecue. That's what they sell. And if you can actually stay at the gas station, they have cabins out back that you can rent by the night or whatever. I've never stayed in the cabins, but I've been to the gas station multiple times. But yeah, that location is actually there. It's really cool. It's a small little town in the middle of nowhere, Texas. I've also been to the house. The house where they filmed this movie has been moved, but it's in Kingsland, Texas.
It's like a diner or something now, isn't it? Like they serve food there.
It's a restaurant. Yeah, you can go there and eat. Yeah. I've been to Kingsland, Texas. It's right there on the Colorado River, and I've ate the barbecue there as well. These are locations that you can still go to. That's what I'm saying. This movie's so treasured. The locations have been preserved because it's that cool. I appreciate that. So much fun. I love it.
The only shot I really have of the house is, of course, I'm going to do this for everybody, and we're all welcome for it. The most iconic shot of the movie. But there's is what's the real picture here, the house, or just Pam's ass and walking towards the house.
That shot right there, that shot right there, I was telling you guys before, this shot right here caused Tobe Hooper to almost quit this thing. Like, he was willing to walk away because he wanted this shot. Kim Henkel, the guy that brought us Texas Chain Saw 4 and tried to say this is the definitive Chainsaw Massacre, that moron. He was producing this film money-wise, and the budget for this movie, some people say it's like $300,000. It was nowhere near that. In reality, it was between like 120 and 140 from the best examples that we can get. But once again, numbers are fuzzy. But this shot right here, Tobe Hooper wanted this crawling shot underneath, and they only had like 40-foot track of, to slide the camera on. And basically Tobe Hooper just pulled his dick out and said, "Motherfucker, we're doing this shit. I don't care what you say." And thank God that he did, because this shot has been made into posters, T-shirts, everything. Pam walking in, no tan lines, by the way.
And they did it in the 2003 movie with Jessica Alba.
Jessica Alba, and that's great. Same,
falling like right up on her ass, like as she goes to the house. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh no. Without this shot, there's so many things that are in this film that'll never be forgotten. But this shot right here, look, I can't remember the actress's name here. That she hated this shot for years and years until it made her famous, and then she made all the horror con money off of it. She loved it after that. But
I think she may have been a little bit shocked at the time. Just as she said, she's like, "Oh my god!" When I saw the movie come out, like they were just right there, my cheeks, and just full cinema scope. And I was like, "Whoa!"
Well, a lot of the cast regretted even being in this movie in the subsequent early years after it came out. It was a career killer for a lot of people. Gunnar Hansen couldn't get work. Like, he didn't do another big movie until after this. He came back like 10 years later and did a Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers, which was basically a send-up of this movie. Marilyn Burns did a couple movies. She did Tobe Hooper's next movie about the Swamp Hotel. She did a few other things, but she never really had a big career either, which sucks. Which is, I think, is why she doesn't get as much credit, whereas like Jamie Lee Curtis does. But this movie was a career killer for a lot of people. Hell, Gunnar Hansen, he didn't. They wanted him to come back for like Texas Chainsaw 2 and yada yada whatever, but they didn't want to pay him any money. He wasn't asking for like a bunch. He wanted like, I think the figure I heard on the commentary track, he wanted like $10,000 to come back for Chainsaw 2 and to make up for the money for this one, because he didn't get paid hardly anything. And he doesn't come back until Chainsaw 3D with Alexandria Daddario when he comes back in the or no. I'm sorry. He came back for the one scene. No, that was Paul Partain that pushes Marilyn. Yeah, no, Gunnar didn't come back until Chainsaw 3D for that opening scene, where they flash back to the original.
He plays like an old, like, not Paul Sawyer, but he plays like an older Sawyer.
And yeah, he plays one of the older Sawyers that is like holed up in the house. He's sitting
right there in the same spot he sat in this movie right here.
Yes,
right in the same.
He's
window.
In the exact same window. Yeah, he's
right there. Cool.
Yeah,
which I love that. I love that shot too, because it's like I always make the joke, but I'm like, it's not really a joke. I'm like, this movie is a home invasion movie, right? And Leatherface is a fucking victim, because this scene of him freaking the fuck out, because like, I think, where is it? Like, I've got I don't have when he get killed, but Jerry. Like, once Jerry comes in,
yeah,
and and then he just cracks Jerry over the fucking skull, and because like he throws Pam back into the freezer. Leatherface is like looking around, like, where the fuck are these people coming from? He looks out the window and he sits down right there. Yeah. He's freaking out. He's like, I don't know what to do. I just killed like 3 people in like the last like 10 minutes. Like, what the hell's going on?
Well, and that's the whole thing is. Leatherface,
that sweet boy.
Well, that's kind of oddly accurate, because, like I said, we're dealing with a very messed up, obviously incest-ridden family where brothers are dads and God knows what at this point. But
this family photo right here.
Yeah, their family tree's stumped, as many people. I think, as you say, or somebody or whatever.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, it's that's what's so funny about this. The guy wearing somebody else's face is not even the most dangerous person in this family. It's the hitchhiker and the cook. Because if they're not doing what they're doing, Junior, he's not going to kill anybody. He's not leaving the house. He doesn't go anywhere. So if you're not invading that's what makes him different from Michael Myers or Jason or Freddy.
I think someone mentioned that. They're like, do you think Leatherface really hadn't killed anyone up until that point? I'm like, maybe not. That's probably why he's freaking the fuck out. Like, like he cuts apart Kirk, but he's already dead, and he kind of did that out of like, I mean, when he first gets him, he knocks him in the head. It's like, well, I mean, and they're like, well, you do that with cattle. That's all he probably understands is boom, you hit him like you would a cattle.
Well, everything is food to Leatherface. He's obviously not all mentally there. There's some mental problems to that he has. I mean, there's a reason why many people draw Winnie the Pooh as Leatherface. Like, very similar, bother kind of simple creatures. Like, there's a reason. Have you never seen that? No, Google it, Winnie the Pooh and Leatherface. There are so many images of these two.
That makes so much sense. I hope my wife can just hear that.
Rachel's, I already pissed her off with the Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, but this is going to set her off.
Now, see, I'm like, that's not going to make me watch Pooh, Blood and Honey. But
there are many images.
Pretty accurate, actually.
Dude, I've seen T-shirts of Winnie the Pooh as Leatherface. Like, I have seen this before. But yeah, when it comes to the family, Leatherface is not even the most dangerous one, because left to his own devices, he's staying in that house. And it's the cook and the hitchhiker that are the problem. Now, depending on which mood the cook is in, which personality he's in, think about it. He starts off this movie trying to keep them from going to the house. Oh, you don't want to take them girls down there. You don't want to go messing around some old house. He is legitimately trying to talk them out of it. But it's like he has a personality switch And then while
from this, where you think, because this is the first time you see him again after she does her little final girl circuit, she gets back to the gas station, busts in there and sees the cook, and she's like, "Oh, thank God!" Like someone's she's freaking the fuck out. And then like when you see this motherfucker coming in, standing with that smile on his face and a bag and a rope, it's like
Jim Siedow's an amazing actor.
Yeah, it's like then you realize, oh god damn it, he's in on it too, because of course he is.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's right there.
I love the scene as they're driving back to the house and he sees the hitchhiker. You coon shit! What are you doing?
Coon shit! I told you to stay away from that graveyard.
Look what your brother did to the door. You know, oh, it's so good.
I love it. That was another shot I love is him kicking the shit out of the hitchhiker in the headlights of the car as they're going to the house.
Well, and that shot right there, it's almost like you're in it's like you're seeing an alien craft in the dark. It kind of appears like the way that they show that. And like another, which Rob Zombie has said many times, this film inspired him, and it shows in all of his work. That image right there. Go back and watch the opening of Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, where that truck is coming to the cornfield. They look exactly the same. Like he mirrored this shot to open that movie. And once again, that's why I say this is one of the most influential films ever, because Oliver Stone, the guy that directed JFK, he hired Ed Neal, sight unseen, because of how he played the hitchhiker in this movie, and gave him a role in JFK. He didn't even have to read. He just wanted him in this movie because of how good Ed Neal was, playing the hitchhiker in this film. And funny story, Ed Neal was another UT student who how he got this film. He was basically pretending to be his retarded special needs cousin in the audition, and that's how he got this role. He was just imitating real life to what we see here. But I'm still okay. This is a question: what is that on his face? Is that a growth or is it blood stain? What do you think it is?
I got a better that. Yeah. See, at first, because it's like it almost like it could be like one of those birthmarks. But like when you when you see him later, well, that's kind of foggy. Fuck. I'm fairly certain it's not there the whole movie. So I thought it was like a blood splatter on, because he said, I mean, as much as you want to take him at his word, he said like, oh, I was at the slaughterhouse. Although to be fair, what he was doing was because that's where that this scene happens. You keep hearing the news in the background talking about there being grave robbing going on, and because that's when then Jim Siedow yells at him. He's like, "I told you to stay away from the graveyard. You almost got caught." And it's like, "Oh, that was him," and that's part of what he was doing when they picked right after when they picked him up. So he was probably rifling through some dead bodies and doing.
Oh, he was
doing arts and crafts, making bone counters and shit.
Oh yeah,
contemporary artwork. Or doing shit like this, like smearing blood on your van. Which I named that one. It's the Mark of Zorro. He's gonna get you.
Well, that's a whole nother discussion right there.
I've heard, dude, that thing. There's so much deep discussion about that mark right there. I've seen.
Because they're talking about the whole like Mercury being in retrograde,
yeah.
The whole deeper kind of astrology kind of thing. Let's also not forget to mention the whole whenever the hitchhiker cuts Franklin, how Franklin kind of acts like the hitchhiker,
and he starts acting different.
There, the whole like kind of thing. He's doing all that. He's acting frantic.
Blowing the raspberries at him. Yeah,
blowing the raspberries. There's some deeper stuff here that have created decades worth of conversations about, is it this way? Is it that way? From the, like I said, the marking on the face, the marking of the van, the whole, oh, you don't want to go there. And then, of course, everything unveils the way it does. There is for this to be, for so many people that look at this, oh, it's just another schlocky horror film. No. The reason those schlocky horror films are made is because this movie was made. This is a smart horror film. This is not just a horror film, it's a comedy film. It's a satirical film. This movie has levels that many, many uneducated, media-wise people can't appreciate because they don't understand the topic of what they're dealing with. And I don't know what that mark is on the side of the man. That's not just him smearing his hand down the side. There's intent with that. I don't know what it is, but I think there's something more to it.
There it is. Like, yeah, the first, like when Sally sees it at the gas station.
Yeah.
Because I think she gets in, she's like, it looks like he was trying to write something. It's like, yeah, it kind of does.
Oh, Frank has a good point as a thought this week. Yes, summer school is right. Yes, that's another one that needs to be done. But yeah, no, that marking, there's, like I said, I don't know a lot about astrology. I've never got in. I think the most I know about astrology is I know I'm a Leo. That's about as much as I know. But I think there's something more that Tobe Hooper was trying to tell us with that kind of thing. And oddly enough,
probably why Pam's character has like that astrology book and she's saying stuff like that, where it's like unexpected events on your travels today may
well, it's just like,
shit like that.
The original Halloween, the first time we see Jamie Lee Curtis, Laurie and Michael in the same shot. They're in the schoolhouse and the teacher's talking about fate, and Michael Myers being right there. I mean, it's once again another thing that Halloween got. As much as I love Halloween, I mean, I'm the chick from Lone Star State for a reason. If Texas Chainsaw doesn't get made, Halloween is not made. I can 100% sure.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, because it came 4 years prior to that, and like it did. Yep. Like you said, there's a lot of things from this movie that other people have done, even just visually, like you said, with the headlights. You have, I mean, you'd straight up have a final girl, shit, shit like that. Well, what are we doing? Oh, plot. I don't know if we really talked. Well, you get it. People being grave robbed.
A group of teens travel across Texas to see grandpa's to see if grandpa's remains were defiled, and they ended up in a meat locker, most of them. So it is what it is.
Yeah, it's. Yeah, you don't. What did he say in this moment? It's like, folks around here, folks don't like you going around their stuff, and they ain't afraid to show you. Yeah.
Well,
don't take too kindly to that around here.
Well, that just shows a different time in America. Like, you would never in 2025 just poke your head in somebody's house. You wouldn't do that.
That's the problem with this movie, and I'm like.
Yeah,
you guys. I mean, I get I'm like, maybe it's a different time. It's the 70s, but I'm still like, you guys are all stupid. You just waltz into someone's house. I know you're looking for your friends. You're kind of in the middle of nowhere. Maybe people were a little bit. I mean, you already have the whole like, hey, hitchhiker, should we pick him up? I'm like, I know that was a thing, but like this, I always say that. Where's the goddamn shot of this fucker? I'm like, this right here, kids, is why you don't pick up hitchhikers. And even Jerry's like, that's the last goddamn hitchhiker I ever pick up. I'm like, yeah, this is exactly why you don't do that, which is why it's not really a thing anymore. Yeah, you still just don't go into someone's house. And I know even for like Jerry right here in this moment, he doesn't really go in. He doesn't really want to, but like I get that the solidifying piece of evidence for him is he's looking at the towel that Kirk and Pam left behind. So he's kind of like, wait a minute, you guys have got to be here. So it kind of lets spurs him to like actually just go in because he thinks they're playing a prank on him. But I mean, again, and then you get jumped by a big dude with a sledgehammer, and that's the end of that story.
Well, let's see, Frank said I shouldn't have even made a rundown for this. Yeah, I mean, no, we're glad that you did, but
I think we're basically going to cover.
No homework needed. Turn the microphones on and we'll talk. Like screw it. We'll do it live. Like this is what we're doing here. We're just whatever. But one thing I want to talk about the This is not a bloody film. Like, there is very little to no actual blood in this film because, once again, Tobe Hooper was calling the MPAA as he was cutting this movie, be like, "Hey, I know you can't outright tell me how to get this rating, but what would make it get the most eyes on it? You're like, no blood, no this. That's why there's no nudity. There's no blood. Well, very little to no blood. There's like almost blood. There's like almost nudity with stuff. But like the shot with Pam being put on the hook, that's a reverse shot where they just wrapped her pantyhose around her and they did a reverse shot and had her hanging.
Yeah, I was going to mention that. I was like, when we were talking about this shot here, I was like, this also gives credence to another thing that, like, you said this is a smart movie. I'm like, even the wardrobe is on purpose because, like, she has this backless shirt because the next thing they're going to do is hang her on this rope. And like you said, she's just got like a thing of pantyhose like crossed across her back and she's holding on to that. Which when you do get that shot for a quick second where you can see her feet are off the ground, it pans up into this where she's holding on to it.
They basically made a rig of pantyhose that she stepped into, kind of like like a strap system when you go bungee jumping. That's basically what they did, made out of pantyhose. And the opening shot where you see her legs get picked up, that's where they cut it and put the harness on her and hang her from. Very cheap, very whatever. Now I'm sure it doesn't feel good getting your girl parts being hung by my pantyhose.
I think that scream might be a little bit real because it's like that's uncomfortable as shit, I'm sure.
Right. I mean, I can only imagine, hey, we're going to squish your balls with, this pantyhose rig and you're going to hang there from
the lady bumps here for the shot, but it's going
to that's going to suck. But it's like, even like when the hitchhiker gets hit by the truck at the end, that was a simple reverse shot, with the dummy. Was what that was.
The dummy, yeah.
Yeah, that's the beauty of what Tobe Hooper did with these things is because, like I said, they only had like $120,000 to $140,000 to shoot it. Originally, when Tobe Hooper pitched this movie, he said, "Yeah, I could do it for about 35," but of course, that was not nearly enough money. But either way, let's say it was $140,000. That's not a lot of money to make anything, even at that point in time. But what Tobe Hooper was able to do here was brilliant because, I mean, we're both gore heads. You do the haunch, you play with the blood, you do all this stuff. I'm a student of this kind of film. We're the two of the best qualified to cover this thing. We know what we're talking about. But for both of us to love something that has this little of gore and the level of practicality in it really speaks. Because, of course, we get Bloodfest coming after this. But this film shows you. Now, of course, if you made a movie like this today, it would not fare as well. But because this is the first one, it stands out. So, a little perspective.
Maybe
it is what it is.
Well, that's the thing is it does stand on its own merits, even though you don't have anything over the top. Like, someone has been, I mean, you mentioned, like, not as much blood. I'm like, the thing is, I'm like, you don't actually see anyone killed by a chainsaw, and the closest you get is actually shot with Franklin.
Franklin's the only one.
But even that, you don't even really see it. You just know what's happening, and this is like this shot, which again we were saying about like it's easier to make a film. Take this with a grain of salt, but it's easier to make a film than you might think. When you have something that you're like, okay, we need to run a guy over with a semi truck, you're like, okay. And then you think about, okay, how do we do that? And like you said, you actually just film from inside the truck. You run it backwards. They drove the truck backwards away from the guy. You run the footage forward. It looks like you bring him over. You cut to, now the truck's moving forward down the road. It hits a dummy under the, you cut it all together and you can make it work. Trust me. You can simply get around these things by making practical things work to your advantage. And that's why I like this kind of stuff. It's what has always interested me about how they make a movie. Like in this, like it's the only thing you really see is him popping out of the trees and just cutting Franklin apart. And if you don't know it, it's like Tobe Hooper's right over Franklin's shoulder, and he's just like swallowing some fake blood and spitting it onto Gunnar Hansen in the scene. It's very subtle. You can almost see the blood splatter, but he just off screen just spitting fake blood at Gunnar Hansen to make the blood splatter. I'm like, see, you can do it. It's not hard. And
there's one commentary. I want to say it was. Oh, I can't remember what year it was I watched it. But there's one commentary where Tobe Hooper did for this film where he said they had like 2 or 3 ounces of blood made for this whole entire film. There was not much. Now, of course, that's 20 something years after it was filmed, so he may have forgotten or something. Well, but that's not a lot of blood.
Marilyn Burns when she was covered in it. I'm like, I don't know about. Well,
yeah.
I've got the end shot of that. I'm like, yeah, there may have been more than 2 ounces, but
right. But there's a difference in dried blood like that on somebody and spraying blood. Spraying blood is what scares me. That's what gets you the R or the X-ray. Dried blood is not.
This could have been paint. It's not
blood. Right. So that's the horrific stuff, and that's what's so cool about this. This set trends that if, once again, like I said earlier, if this movie's not made, you don't get Halloween, you don't get Jason, you don't get Nightmare, you don't get every other slasher that came after it. And this movie it's an art house film. And it's kind of funny, it's like you brought up, Franklin's the only person who gets killed with a chainsaw in this movie. Go back and watch the original Halloween. Actually, the only person who gets killed with a knife is Bob when he puts him on the wall. He strangles more people than he stabs people in that movie. And most people don't even realize that when they're watching these kind of films.
Yeah.
Kind of funny.
No, yeah, you're right, I think. Because he sticks them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He strangles. He strangles. He kills in different ways, but the only person who gets actually stabbed and killed by the knife is Bob on the wall.
Well, technically his sister in the beginning, right? I mean, when he was a kid, he stabbed his sister.
Okay, well, yeah, but I'm more talking about
Michael Myers at his full power. I know what you
mean. Yeah. Now, I guess technically, too, if you want to go there, but adult Myers and the Shatner mask. But, this would be a different movie if it was like the Texas, I'm going to hang you by a meat hook massacre. That title doesn't sell.
To be fair, the Texas Sledgehammer Massacre almost works because I'm like, he used that sledgehammer.
Sledgehammer Massacre would work.
Yeah. 3 of the 4 people. To be fair.
Well, and that's what's so funny is like Tobe Hooper was trying out names for this movie. Like some other titles were Head Cheese. Leatherface was originally a title for this film. There were 2 or 3 different names. But once he said Texas Chainsaw Massacre to somebody, I forget who he said it was. But the woman he was talking to, even the name scared her, and that's when he knew, like, no, this is the title of my movie. This is what it needs to be, and it really shows. I mean, it's a tremendous title.
In the Fathom, because this was a Fathom event at the end of actually right when the movie cuts out. Right before it didn't roll the credits right away. It showed the little snippet from Chain Reactions, which is a thing about
the new documentary coming out.
Yeah, and it showed Patton Oswalt's bit where he said, he's like, when you have a title of a film, it should like give you, like, you should already be feeling a story or seeing something in your head.
Yeah.
He's like, when you hear Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you're like, oh shit, what is that? You know, you already kind of have an idea of what it is. So it tells a story itself. Just the just that title
back
right there.
In the day, we didn't have 15 different 3-minute trailers to spoil the film like we do now. You had a title and you had a poster, so you had to be effective in those 2 ways. Because for any of the kids watching this today, we used to just go to the video store and, I've never seen this movie. That box art looks cool. I'm going to watch that one today. That's how they had to sell you, was by the poster in the name. So,
I've done it. I've walked into some stores and just saw.
Well, yeah, I mean, think about it. Halloween, Hellraiser, Friday the 13th, whatever it is, they had to sell you. If you're walking past and you see Night of the Living Dead and you've never seen it before, but you hear that name, you're going to watch it. It's just one of those things. And Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You expect, this is going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be horrific, and for many it was.
Yeah, it sells it for you.
Oh yeah.
Well, I think we talked about the plot. I don't know.
I believe we
after
did.
That's trivia, really, which I'm sure
I think we're just going to use Frank's plot or Frank's headlines as plot points at this point and just kind of go forward. So It'll be fine.
I mean, I can. Excuse me. I can. I can read some of these, but we'll.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay, Marilyn Burns, whose character is chased by Leatherface through the undergrowth, actually cut herself on the branches quite badly. So a lot of the blood on her body and the clothes is real, which I believe that.
Well, it's not even just the branches. And this is so funny about Tobe Hooper. The scene where she jumps out of the window, she had to do that like almost 20 times. Like she had to do it repeatedly.
Like, you were like 2 pieces of fake glass. So like, okay, you got to jump with it and you got to throw it down in front of you and land. Like, it's like, what?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well,
like that.
And Tobe Hooper was worried about hurting the stunt actress, so they made Marilyn Burns do it, which makes no sense whatsoever.
Okay. Do it live.
Like, you know, it's so funny. And then like the scene of like the film had wrapped. Marilyn thought she was done. She goes back to her hotel.
Oh, I love this story.
Once again, keep in mind she had one pair of clothes they could not wash. She thought she's done with this movie. Tobe Hooper calls her back. Hey, the shot didn't take. You have to come back right now. Like we got to fix this.
Come back and bring your clothes again.
Bring the clothes. She hated being on this movie. She did not want to do it anymore.
That's why I say this shot here. I'm like, that shit is real because she's probably actually hysterical having to come back and wear those goddamn clothes again. Soaked in blood, real blood and sweat.
This was like a 32-day shoot of like 12-hour days sometimes more. Yeah. In that kind of weather, that's not fun. You're sticky, you're covered in corn syrup and food coloring and whatever, God knows what else. Hell, that's why the poor kid that played Grandpa was scarred for life because he had that glue on his face for over 12 hours a day. You know, this movie, this changed lives in both good and bad ways.
Let's get the next one because I forgot to put this up here. This important date. Right here.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's the closest thing I can get to this one. According to John Larroquette, his payment for doing the opening narration was 1 joint of marijuana.
Yeah.
I mean, hey.
Well, he only worked for like 15 minutes. That's about how long it took him to film that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't like, oh, we're gonna do this. Okay, now read it this way. You know, Tobe Hooper wanted to knock off Orson Welles, and that's what he got. Now, even though it sounds nothing like Orson Welles, this is what it is. You know.
So. Yeah. Let's get that's a good one. Gunnar Hansen originally turned down the role of Leatherface due to the sheer brutality of the plot, but he was then persuaded by Marilyn Burns, who he was friends with at the time. I mean, sure.
Yeah, there was another actor that was already cast as Leatherface in this movie, and then something happened to him, and then the role ended up falling to Gunnar. I can't remember who the man's name was. But yeah, he was not going to be the first choice for this role, but we're so glad that he did because he literally created a legend. I mean, you know, obviously he's one of the many members of this cast that are, you know, gone now, but just the scene of this gigantic dude running through, you know, scarred generations. You know, some love him, some hated him, but he will never be forgotten.
I think we mentioned this when we were coming out of the theater because there was still a poster of Jaws up in the theater for the 50th. And we're like, you know, Jaws is the reason you don't go swimming. Yeah, Jaws is the reason you don't go swimming. And I'm like, Texas Chain Saw is the reason why you keep driving past the house in the middle of fucking no. I'm like, no, I'm not going to go check it out. Fuck no. I don't know who's in there.
Dude, when you posted that, you know, y'all eating at a barbecue joint yesterday. See, I take it a step further. Luckily, I am in the great state of Texas. We have many fine gas stations that serve their own barbecue. Every August 18th, I make sure to eat gas station barbecue. It is part of my ritual for that day. It's just because it's August 18th, man. It's what you do. You eat gas station barbecue. You watch Chainsaw. You know, it's like Christmas, 4th of July. Texas Chainsaw Day should be a national freaking holiday. And if I am ever president, by God, I promise you it will be. So.
I think it's pretty much become that because like that's what we started to do. We started doing. Well, I shared a picture to you guys. Like we always get barbecue and then we always go watch this movie.
It's a horror.
Hilarious.
Look,
Hilariously, the choices. As soon as I saw the sauces, I was like, "Well, the one called Texas barbecue is the one I gotta get." I mean, obviously.
Oh, of course, yeah. Now, did you go brisket, sausage? What'd you get?
I got a pulled pork sandwich. They put the sauce on. They put slaw on it. She got a brisket sandwich, and I think she got like
that's not. See, Texas barbecue is beef, so they were lying to you, but it's all good stuff. Barbecue.
What's the sauce? It's not the meat.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The type of sauce. Well, because remember the sauce is right there. I was going to mention something to you. I'm like, the fact that the first three they put on there for the sauce choices were Kansas City, Texas, and Carolinas. I'm like, that's asking for a fight. That's a three-way fight right there.
No, that
happened.
Because I would stab somebody over that.
I was like, I know what each of those probably tastes like, but I'm like, I got to go with the Texas one. So I can tell you that they're going to be the best.
Oh yeah, no, Texas barbecue is beef. Like now, if you go to like Carolina or somewhere else, that's pork. That's whatever. But Texas proper Texas barbecue is always beef based. That is always how it goes. I had a brisket sandwich, loaded, tons of brisket on it. Then I had some beef sausage that was amazing. It was like this jalapeno beef sausage. My God, it was just tremendous. I loved every bit of it. It was awesome.
Oh, went too far. Shit. I was looking for another picture. Oh, Lord. I'm trying to. I'm just trying to verify.
I need to hang this mask in the background somehow. I'm like, maybe I can like pin it to the wall or something. That would look really good back there. I don't know. I'll figure it.
Just get like one of those fake like styrofoam heads and just kind of plop it over top of it.
I thought about doing that. I need to get like a mannequin head somewhere I can put that in my back.
Oh yeah,
but
they're pretty cool.
No,
okay, I got the picture I wanted. Okay. Good. Cool. Hello. No, that's not the wrong. There we go. No, put the picture up. There we go. And for those of you wondering, that is me on a night where I fucking fall on my face chasing somebody with a chainsaw. That is real, and that has happened to me.
Well, I'll say
anyway.
I'll put the mask back on this just so I can tell you. It is hard to see out of this mask. Like the eye holes suck.
It's
like
no, I've worn that mask. It's hard.
I can see. There you go, light it up. I can see you, but like this, like it cuts off like half of your eye when you're trying to see or whatever. And obviously, there we go now. But yeah, no, the vision of within this mask is very hard to get through everything else. But it's such an iconic face that it is what it is. Kind of a funny story.
We got horror characters. How are you doing,
sir? Like the eyes aren't even the same. Obviously, one's more triangular or whatever. So when you're running with the saw, I can see how you would fall down and bust your ass.
Okay, she had mango habanero sauce in hers. Okay, that's what it was.
Ooh, okay, that's a good sauce. I love barbecue. I barbecue. I mean, obviously, I'm Texan. I love barbecue. I could eat barbecue every day. But I'm always down for a good barbecue sauce on something. Now, do you know the story about how Gunnar Hansen almost killed somebody on the set of this movie because he got high for the first time?
Him and John Larroquette were hanging out too much.
I forget who it was on the set, but somebody made brownies with obviously marijuana. Gunnar Hansen had never done drugs before. He hadn't done mushrooms or smoked or whatever. And he ate brownies for the first time. They still had shooting to do, which is why when you posted that picture of you laying down like that, it made me think of it. Because Gunnar Hansen for the first time got high and was chasing somebody around with a real chainsaw at different points. Very easily could have killed somebody. So it's once again, that kinds of filmmaking that, would not get made today. It's just one of those things. Like when another thing, we always talk about how the mom from Exorcist messed up her back because she got drugged by a rope. That happened in this movie as well. Whenever Jerry goes in the house and he gets whacked in the head and he goes down, Gunnar Hansen had a real hammer in his hand, and Kim Henkel was off scene he had a rope tied around old boy's waist. And when Gunnar Hansen came down with the hammer, Kim Henkel just yoinked him back up. That's why he hits the ground like he does and starts his little death rattle and stuff. You know, it's these kinds of things of this era of filmmaking, whether it's Exorcist, Chainsaw, all of these things. It gave that era of horror legitimacy because people actually, it wasn't, oh, I'm going to go sit in my trailer for 5 hours and, you know, text me when it's time to film. These people almost died. You know, like it is crazy the stuff that they did back.
Pretty much.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, I wanted this shot because the next thing was talking about his boots. Even in his lift boots, Gunnar Hansen could still run faster than Marilyn Burns. So he had to do a lot of random things when chasing her through the woods, which you'll notice in one shot, he starts slicing up the tree branches in the background.
Like, he's cutting trees, he's yada yada, whatever. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, he's.
I mean, like,
it's kind of funny how he does it.
There's people that I work with that are like, you know, bigger in stature, like this guy, and I'm like, but I've seen these motherfuckers run at people. I'm like, you don't think it, but these people will chase you down. Trust me, I've had haunt actors that go to the ends of the fucking earth to chase a customer, and they will run you over.
Well,
believe me.
Well, when you're going to a haunt, you're paying to be scared. You want as real, like you want to go like right up to the line of killing you, like scare me. That's what you're going there for. And pretty a good much. Haunt actor, I mean, hell, that's what you are. If you're not scaring somebody, you're not doing your job right. You know, you're not. You know, you're. Yeah, that's the whole point.
That's the threshold of like knowing that line, because like my point is, because I'm at the end, which also helps give credence to this, where people come in like, oh, don't scare me, don't scare my kid. I'm like, first of all, why'd you come here? Why'd you bring him here?
What are you doing?
And then I'm like, I already got paid technically, but my point is, I'm like, now I know what you did not do is go into every single damn room with this haunt and tell every actor, don't scare me, don't scare me, don't scare me. I'm like, fuck you. I'm going to scare you because that's exactly what I get. You paid me to do. Now I know where the line is because I'm a fucking professional. Okay. And obviously, like, I know it's different with little kids. Some little kids are cool. Some are, I'm like, I hold back and I'm like, hey, give me a high five, you know, like, or like some little like 4-year-old girl came up to me and she actually put her hands up like she was ready to box. I was like, oh. I was like, oh, big scary kid. You know, she wasn't scared of shit. And I told her, I'm like, hey, you're braver than people I've seen twice, 3 times your age, even. So
that's awesome.
Props to you. Yeah, I was like, props to that little girl. She probably could have kicked my ass. So it's pretty ballsy to put your hand up to the devil. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, you know what? Isn't there a whole song about somebody playing fiddle against him one time or something? I think there's a song about
something like that. There is in fact a gold fiddle on our chair. So I still have it in my possession. Damn it! I ain't heard some dude named Johnny come up here and challenge me.
Johnny,
so.
Apparently Johnny didn't actually win that battle, but you know that's just fake news. So
not yet. All right. According to Edwin Neal, who is the hitchhiker, Texas state troopers actually shook his hand and thanked him for causing crime to drop 18%. Apparently, the message audiences took away from the movie was, don't pick up hitchhikers. Yeah, if there was one solid piece of advice, don't pick up hitchhikers, because shit like this could happen.
Well, I mean, I'm sure you've been on a road trip at some point in time where, like, you'll be driving down the highway and there'll be like a sign and be like, don't pitch up hitchhikers. There's a prison 5 miles from here or something.
Because it could be escaped convict. Yeah.
Right. It could be a, you know, I think everybody at some point has seen something like that. And it's like, you know, what Ed and Neal did with this and Tobe Hooper, they were talking about the death of the peace and love generation of the 60s. The hippies were that Manson. Yeah, I mean, Charles Manson, he destroyed the hippie movement. And what this guy does is he's an amalgam of Manson. You know, that's realistically how he played it. You know, he takes a picture of him. Hey, $5. It's a good picture. You know, he does his whole thing. When they don't pay him, he puts it on a piece of tinfoil, sprinkles gunpowder on it, lights it on fire, and sticks it in his pocket. You know, he's obviously not well.
Like Franklin with a straight razor. Yeah. So.
Right. Oh, hey, you know, I like your knife. I got one too. And then he cuts Franklin, and then Franklin becomes, you know, the hitchhiker for all intents and purposes. You know,
Yeah.
what Ed Neal was, I don't know if you ever get the chance to meet Ed Neal at a con, go do it, because the man is hilarious. I've seen him a couple of times. You can't miss him. He just imagine ZZ Top. That's what he looks like now. Big long hair, big long beard. He's always like a big cowboy hat with like a flashy looking shirt on. You can see him a mile away. Ed Neal is a legend. Well, like I said, Oliver Stone cast him in JFK because of this movie. He didn't have to audition. He just got it to be in the movie. So Ed Neal's another legend, man. He's one of the few that are still living. So celebrate him while he's here.
Yeah. And speaking of people who aren't with us anymore, unfortunately, most of the actors, Jesus Christ, most of the actors didn't actually meet Gunnar Hansen, let alone see him in costume before their first, which was also usually their last scene with him. Yeah, that gives you the fear. I think a lot of the shots, I wish I had the actual shots, like the shot in the movie of Kirk when he that shot where he looks up and like flinches, that was real. Jerry's fucking scream when he comes around the corner with the hammer was real. It's like a lot of these shots were actually them like, oh shit, seeing this guy come around the corner. So
Gunnar wasn't even allowed to eat with the cast. He was kept off by himself. Tobe did not want them bonding and getting a kinsmanship between the two of them. And it works. It's effective. I mean, hell, you don't see Leatherface till 40 minutes into this movie or so, 35, 40 minutes or so. He comes in at the end. But then again, look at that era of horror, from Jaws all the way to It and Halloween. You don't get a lot of your monster. So when you do see him, that's why it's so effective. The first shot where we really see Leatherface in his full glory is when he pops out of nowhere in front of Franklin in that flashlight, and oh my God, and he does his thing. Which this movie is is it 83 or 86 minutes? There's over 400 and something cuts and edits in this movie. There is a ton for a movie this slim. And I think the best edit or cut in this film is in that Franklin scene where he literally just appears out of nowhere. You should have seen him 2 seconds before that you do. But he literally just pops up and then Franklin gets the business at. That is such a cool shot. Oh yeah, he just appears there. He just hops up out of nowhere. It's crazy.
Big fucker comes out of nowhere. We've been talking a lot about Halloween. Apparently, it was the biggest grossing independent film until Halloween, which was 4 years later. So this movie was kicking some ass.
Well, and like I opened with, we don't know how much money this movie made originally because it was owned by the mob. They copied this film and sent it all over the place. We have no idea what money this made, originally in the front. Now we know what it's made since because hey, they're still pumping out merchandise today. This is one of those evergreen properties that I don't think they'll ever stop making merchandise. I'll be honest with you. There's always going to be some kind of anniversary edition. This is our history. It's like I said earlier. This is our modern day Universal monsters. The Michael Myers, the Leatherfaces. I could even put the Exorcist. The Freddys, all of them. These are the movies that will be remembered and stick with us.
It's funny you mentioned The Exorcist because it's we're a hive mind. The next point is that Entertainment Weekly magazine voted this the second scariest film ever, just behind The Exorcist. Yeah, I think yours are two big heavy hitters right there, which is hilarious. That happens to be me and my wife's favorite fucking horror movies. Mine's Texas Chainsaw, and hers is Exorcist. Which you've seen the pictures. I put them in the chat before between us. We did that. We did that for Halloween once. I went as that Leatherface, the pretty face woman, and she did Reagan. Those are
I don't know
the two scariest movies. That's what it always seems to be.
I would say they're definitely up there. Who's one and who's two? I don't know.
Number one.
I don't think Exorcist is as scary, but it's more shocking. I mean, when you see a little, I don't know.
The impact it had. Both of them had a pretty big impact. They were pretty much like banned in a lot of countries until very recently, like you mentioned.
Oh yeah, like I said earlier, Chainsaw was banned in Britain till the year 2000. Like it took that long to get off the video national. You know?
Do you want cannibal rednecks brutalizing you, or do you want like religious horror trauma shit? Like which?
That's why I say Exorcist is more shocking because you see like Reagan fucking herself with a crucifix, saying, "Let Jesus Christ fuck."
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that's you don't see anything near that level in this movie. To me, okay, I'm not the normal person because I don't scare. Like I when I go, I'm the guy.
Jaded. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a very jaded mind that I get off on this scary shit. That's what gets my blood going. I'm the dude that walks into the haunted house with a smile on my face, hoping to be like, okay, almost killed. Like that's what I go looking for. But I think Exorcist would be more shocking. This overall, I think I would put Chainsaw at 1 for scariest, but Exorcist has nothing to miss at all whatsoever.
Damn, you know what? That reminds me, you should have come to this because obviously, being from Ohio, always number 1 with the most haunts in the country.
Oh, dude, y'all got like almost 1,000 or something. It's nuts.
I know. But there was one that we went to that was actually, you'll laugh. It was actually an old West town, like old Western town. That was the.
Oh, cool.
So like you get to go to like the town, like the main road of this town, and there's the little shops and there's stuff. There's like a bar in there too. Like the saloon was the bar. You could do karaoke, get drinks. There was a little merch things, but like there are actors that are walking around. There's guys in like full leather dusters, cowboy hats. They had fucking They were chasing people around with like dance, bitch, like chasing people around the fucking town. They just screw with you. And then there's like a trail. You actually go around the whole, like there's a big like abandoned like old school church there. There's like some barns. And the thing is, there was a thing where you could pay to they'll do extra shit to you. Like they'll actually grab you. They'll actually like douse you with crap. They'll put crap in your hair, in your face, your mouth. They'll try to like dunk you. Yeah. We had 2 people in our group do it. Yeah. And it's like, it sucks because it was really cold. So that stuff, like they were like,
oh yeah,
shivering by the end because all that like the blood and all the crap they put on them and douse these people. Yeah, but they were like, yeah, that was interesting. Like they know you're the one. They give you like a wrist or like a glow stick or whatever, so they know like these are the people that want the intense experience. I'm like that. It was kind of funny to watch. I was just like, and it wasn't that I didn't want to do it. I was just like, I've done all this crap. They were like 18, 19 years old. I'm like, go ahead. I'll watch you because it'll be funny for me. It's not that I don't want to. I'm like, I also figured, I'm like, I don't want to be cold and go back to the car like squishing wet with all this crap. It's going to be in my hair and in my shoes by the time I get there.
And that's the thing, though. I don't know if you ever did you ever watch Rob Zombie's Joe Rogan interview that he did a couple years ago or whatever?
I know what you're talking. I think I've seen clips. I have not seen the whole thing. I know he did.
Well,
he talked to him.
He talks in that. He talks about how the desensitization, how stuff like this desensitizes you. And he's right. It does because I mean,
I walk into a haunt and I'm like, ooh, that's a cool effect. Ooh, how they hang those lights? Right. What the hell? Oh, hi, little actor. You're doing a good job. Well, I'm looking at other.
Some people will watch like a Conjuring movie and they think like Annabelle's the scariest thing they've ever seen. They're on the lighter, like it's fine. Right. I can watch that and I'm like, okay, this is boring. When's the dog going to slice somebody's throat? Let's get to the horrific, because I look at horror films like, okay, I don't really care about roller coasters. I can't do that with my back anymore after the car wreck I had. But for me, the horror stuff is like it's a thrill ride for me. It gets my blood going. Now, I must say, I started out on a much darker, deeper scale. Like I was like 5, 6 years old watching stuff like Texas Chain Saw Massacre, Halloween, Exorcist. She started me out with the good stuff. I didn't start out with, oh, here's just Scooby Doo. Yeah, I was watching that too, but I started out on the deeper end of the pool. Like I was thrown in because my grandmother, God bless her soul, if it wasn't for her, I never saw this movie. And it's just, you do get desensitized when you watch this stuff. It changes you, mentally. And like with you with the whole, haunt stuff, you see how it affects people. Like you see the other side, which I find very fascinating. How psychologically this stuff can affect people. It does change you. It is true.
Yeah, and I've had people say to me like, and maybe from an outside looking in, they're like, he was just he wasn't trying to be mean. He was genuinely just kind of like, he's like, I feel like you got to be at least some sort of messed up to kind of like work on a haunt like that. I was like, yeah, a little bit.
I could agree to that to an extent.
I was like, we're not like actual psychopaths. I'm like, no, we're just kind of the weirdos. We like this kind of thing. It's it's a group of people that love horror movies. They love the gore. They love doing it. They love making other people scream. It's
Have you ever seen the houses that October built?
No.
You need to see this film. This film is literally about a group of people that they go to actual haunts, and it's like a faux documentary kind of thing. And it's literally about, I believe it's on some free services, I can't remember. But the houses that October built, it's literally about these people that they go around the country. It's mainly in like the South that they do, but they're trying to find the scariest haunts, and they interview like actual haunt workers and stuff and everything else. It's a pretty interesting one. I think you would enjoy that checking out just because of your haunt.
I only kind of take it in the fact that like I like to, I mean, I know I sound pretentious when I say I'm an actor, and I'm like, well, I'm the schlockiest of actors. I'm a fucking
you are actor. That's the point.
I know, but I'm like, I'm almost like, I don't try to be so high on myself that I'm like I'm an actor, but like I'd like to think, I don't think I method act. It's not like I know what being an actual, like being Satan is, but I'm like, there's a time period, I kid you not, like from about, it's about, well, probably now-ish, from September when we're in it to maybe like December, because it lingers, where I'm in that mindset, because like I'm playing Satan and I'm in this damn mindset, and I'm that way for a while, and it lingers because I'm like, I'm just more of an asshole cranked up to about 11. I'm kind of at like a 6 most of the time. Let's be honest. But like, and sometimes like I've had it where it kind of comes out of me where I'm like, I'm a reactionary asshole. I don't go out of my way to be like that. Someone's giving me shit, and I'm like, I will turn on you so fast, and like that instincts will kick in where I'm like, I'll make fun of you. You could be wearing something stupid, or you might have a dumb haircut. I will just rip you the fuck up. You're gonna be thinking about it when you go home. You're gonna be late at night being like, fucking guy said that to me. It's gonna stick in your head. I'm like, I don't want to ruin your week, but I will. You know what I mean? It's so if that maybe is part of it, that kind of does it to me. I don't know.
Well, that's the whole thing is like, and that's kind of how it ties into this movie. I love this. I mean, y'all know me. Me in this horror thing, it's not just a gimmick. This is who I am. Y'all know me long enough to know this is in my DNA. I love this kind of stuff. It gets my blood going. I would love nothing more. Just let me play the Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw movie. Please. Are you kidding me? I'm born to do it. I'm so down for it. Somebody cast me. Please.
It's like I would like to think I'm like, yeah, I'm a nice person. But it's funny when like I show people like, yeah, but look, I do this for for fun. Like it doesn't like Satan. You know what I mean? So
everybody has a dark side. I mean, let's not lie to ourselves. There is something within all of us that is it's always there. Just I think some people are more in touch with it and they're able to control it, and the ones that go off and do bad things are the ones that can't control themselves.
Yeah. Like here's like, for example, if anyone can really see it, there's me like 2 years ago. Yeah. I'm like, I'm just being a fucking goof, because that's just who I am. There's a couple other previous years, not as good pictures, but yeah. This is real. my mom talking about making someone scream. She almost peed herself from some guy with a chainsaw. I wonder who that some guy could be. Couldn't be me.
This is the thing though about like movies like Texas Chainsaw is, and I think Frank has said it on here before in the past, but a lot of people go to movies like this to kind of confront their fear of death. It's for a lot of people, that's what they go for these days. And when you watch something like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you look at this like, oh my God, this is real. This is like, you convince yourself like Blair Witch, like Paranormal Activity, like Cannibal Holocaust that, Rogero Deodato almost went to prison for, like you're confronting your own fear of your mortal coil leaving this earth because it's going to happen. And when you see it, it's like it's maybe controlled chaos is the best phrase or term to put it in, because you're going to die. But if you get to watch somebody else do it, you kind of grasp it a little bit. You can make you laugh a little bit, maybe. Process it a little bit. So that's something that Chainsaw is important for, because for so many, this, and once again, another reason why I say this is the most influential film ever made, because this film didn't just influence horror. There are so many avant-garde art house style films that modeled after this movie that it's there. This movie is in the DNA of film forever and will never go away. Not just to gore fans like us. So, it's very important.
Speaking of being inspired, I mean, I kind of skipped some of these. So I think we basically kind of covered most of them.
Oh, I'm sure that we did.
Texas Chainsaw is what inspired Ridley Scott to make Alien in 1979. Some people even called the movie Alien a Texas Chainsaw Massacre in space. I mean, kind of.
Yeah. And Alien, but I mean, it's by far the greatest of that franchise, because once you get to Aliens, it's an action film with big laser.
Well, Alien is an action, but Alien is a fucking horror film, straight up. That shit is terrifying.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean,
I'm like,
I haven't watched that. I haven't watched Alien Earth, the new show yet. I've heard it's kind of like Gen Z Alien, and so that kind of I'm not excited about that. But I don't know. Whatever.
I hope not. I hope it's actually good.
I mean, to me, there's two good Alien movies, and then the rest of them are just there. But whatever.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I don't need anything past two. Hell, I'll be real with you. Alien is really the only one that I need out of that franchise. But it's whatever. It is what it is.
Yeah. Well, I'll keep this in there because we kind of mentioned it. The chainsaw is actually seen cutting flesh of only one character, and it's actually it's Leatherface cutting himself with the saw.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
cuts his leg.
Where's that shot? Right there, where he cuts his leg. I'm like, to be fair, he did just take a fucking metal wrench to the fucking noggin and fell over.
Oh, dude, that truck driver throws it like it's a fastball in the major leagues. He just chunks that.
Yeah. It's still the thing. It is funny, but the thing I think that makes my wife laugh the fucking hardest is that initial, like when the truck driver gets out, it's that wide shot of the truck. You see him walk, and you see him just go like, nope. He turns the fuck back around. As soon as you see around the truck, he just like.
That's what I always wonder. Why wouldn't you just get back in your truck and leave? Like, why run away? Like, take your chances. Get in the truck.
Fall through the door. It's like he's not gonna. You can get the truck started in time, dude.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, he didn't cut a tire, and even if he did, you drive it on the rim. Who cares? You buy another tire. That's not hard to do.
You have 17 other wheels. You'll be fine.
Now we do see his fate once again in Chainsaw 3D. We see truck driver gets his comeuppance, and I believe he's on the table. I think that's where he is in that movie. But we do finally learn his fate as well. But yeah, I always wonder, why didn't you just doomed yourself by leaving that truck there? Like, you're a moron, dude. Get back in that thing. Right? Do what you got to do, man. I don't know,
whatever. All right. Well, and I'll end this with the only way I can end this with one of the most
beautiful shot.
Beautiful goddamn shots. The thing that, like, you're still in this adrenaline filled like scene right here, and the shit just stops.
Yeah.
And the credits roll. You're like,
it's like an acid trip. It just comes out of nowhere.
So with that, the final point is John Bloom, aka driving critic Joe Bob Briggs, called Texas Chain Saw Massacre. You'll love him for this. Called it, quote, the greatest movie ever made.
I agree.
He filmed a cameo for the sequel, but it was cut out. That sucks. That
was
cool.
Joe Bob Briggs, the horror critic from Grapevine, Texas. My neck of the woods here. I can actually show you. Pull my camera up real quick.
I was just trying to get that's what makes me smile. I think it makes a lot of us smile. Let's get that out there. What you got?
Literally, there is an autograph from Mr. Joe Bob Briggs to me right here. So yeah, and on Halloween, I'm meeting just. He is having a Halloween deal where they're showing 5 films on Halloween, and I've already got tickets now, so it's all good. But yeah, Joe Bob Briggs, I've got his action figure over there as well. But no, Joe Bob, Joe Bob is the reason why I want to review movies. I watched him from the movie channel to Monster Vision on TNT to now the last drive-in on Shudder. I love Joe Bob. Joe Bob's my boy, and yeah, he's a special one. I've met him a few times. He's cool. He's a lot of fun, and he is right. This is the greatest movie ever made, 100%.
I can agree with that. Yeah, that was the last bit. I don't know if we need any final thoughts on this movie because I think we've given our thoughts pretty well.
We could talk another 4 hours about it, buddy, and I wouldn't get bored. But at a certain point, we're going to have to quit. Otherwise, we're just going to have to call into work tomorrow. So it's what it is.
Pretty soon, it's going to have to cut the black real quick right here. So.
But you know what? There is other Texas Chainsaw movies that we can always talk about down the road. That guess what? I'm more than willing and happy to do. So anytime we want to, hey, Texas Chainsaw 2. Oh, that's another amazing. So yeah, there's always other films to talk about.
I've seen them all once, actually, except for was it Leatherface? Is the one that's like the origin story one?
Leatherface. Let's see. Yeah, Texas Chainsaw 2, 3. Texas. You have Leatherface, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. That one is a direct follow up. Then they did Next Generation, which killed the franchise.
Yeah.
Then they did the Platinum Dunes films with the 03 in the beginning.
Yeah.
Then, which I don't know why they didn't continue with the Hewitts, because the Hewitts are just as good. I think the Hewitt storyline is even better than the Sawyers, to be honest with you. Then they did Chainsaw 3D. Leatherface was a prequel to that one. And then
the 2022 one.
That Netflix one that was, it's only worth watching for the bus scene in reality. Get ready to get canceled, bro. And then he gets butchered to death.
He just fucking massacres them. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's one Confederate flag in the town. We have to get rid of that. People will be upset. But that movie.
And I already knew. I'm like, my favorite character was a dude from the shop, and I'm like, I already know he's gonna fucking die because he's probably the most fucking.
How did they not make him a Sawyer? The mechanic guy, he should have been a Sawyer. Like, it was right there. Come on.
That would have been a good twist, actually. Yeah.
He should have been a Sawyer. Like, every movie, there's another Sawyer. Now, there is, I don't know at what level of production we are, but there is word of a Texas Chainsaw Massacre Legacy, I think is the title. They're allegedly making another Texas Chainsaw that's supposed to follow up to the 2022. Which, I'll be real honest with you, I'm kind of tired of the old man versions of our killers. I would rather see them either.
I don't need like 70-year-old Leatherface swinging it. Like,
we tried that with the Blumhouse Michael Myers stuff. It didn't work. It was, whatever. I mean, I love Halloween Kills, but I don't need 70-year-old versions. If you're going to do another Texas Chainsaw, either go back and tell the Hewitt storyline or start over. That's your only two options. That's the only ways that you can do it.
Because as you mentioned, Marilyn Burns had since passed away. Now you brought back the
Oh,
character
yeah.
of Sally in that movie as like a badass Texas Ranger who was always kind of on the hunt for Leatherface.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
like,
No, that was a
I mean, you
miscarriage of justice. She should have never been in that movie. Not at all.
I'm like, because I'm like, you already know. I'm like, you're not gonna have her live. They end up killing her. I'm like, but really?
Yeah.
And then like, yeah, because you're not gonna kill the fucking slasher. That's the, you want to make more movies.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you already sent off her character. Then I'm like, no, just leave it there. Just leave that storyline there. Just let that be it.
Yeah.
There's nothing more because you're gonna awkwardly just kind of have something else with him, and I don't think it's gonna work.
Yeah. No,
If that's the final
it's
shot we ever
only,
get of Texas Chainsaws, where he grabs that bitch's head and just cuts her right at the end as the self-driving car is going away, I'm like, yes.
oh, I love that scene. He grabs her by that mop of hair. Oh, that was great. I love that scene. That was
lops her head off right in front of her sister. That was fucking
Netflix.
awesome.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre sucks. I'll be real honest with you. That movie's not good. There are many points and times in that movie where I'm checking my phone while it's on. But once you really get, like, once Leatherface's mom dies, and once the cornfield scene happens, and he pops up out of the cornfield, which is a beautiful shot, by the way.
Where he holds the
That's when the movie, he holds the mask up in that cornfield. That's when that movie is worth watching if you're a horror hound, because you get the bus massacre, you get all of the stuff. Dude, he treats that mechanic dude gets it rough in that apartment or whatever. He gets it just whatever. But it was the overall, that movie's a disappointment. I hope the newest Texas Chainsaw Massacre, if it gets made, who knows? I hope it's not a direct sequel, because, like I said, I'm tired of old man versions of our characters. That gimmick doesn't work. I don't like it.
Yeah. Well, and with that note, I think that's our final thoughts. So what have you got going on the internets? I think you're stuck with me again on Thursday, actually.
I believe we're Mallrats Thursday.
Mallrats should be Thursday. Yeah, the
Mallrats Thursday, and I'm actually very looking forward to that, because I love Mallrats. That's a very fun movie to watch. It's one of the few of my. I don't know. It may be my favorite Kevin Smith movie. I'm not sure, but I'm really looking forward to breaking that one down to get into that world. And I'm some good old Jay and Bob Silent Fun and Brody and all of them. Yeah, I'm down for it. It's gonna be fun.
Where does he get those wonderful toys? Yeah, so like he said, that's kind of what we got going on this week. We're doing Mallrats on Thursday, the second movie directed, produced, edited, scored, starred in, whatever, by Kevin Smith. So that'll be Thursday. So yeah, we'll be here doing that. I think that's pretty. Oh, thank you. Well, as goddamn, as fucking Frank said, we'll bring our chocolate covered pretzels.
Well, hopefully we don't do it in the most uncomfortable place possible, in the backseat of a Volkswagen.
But, the backseat of a Volkswagen?
We'll see what happens. Yeah, in the backseat of a Volkswagen.
I'll bring my abstract art of a sailboat. I'll put it right here.
Now, are we going to debate what the thing's dick looks like? Like they do in the film. Right. Obviously, Stan Lee is not here to clarify for us, but maybe we can figure that out there.
We might have to have that discussion. Oh, and I think it's a good point. I think we're definitely, like I was gonna say, we're getting into the spooky season. Let me start playing the music. We're definitely getting into the spooky season, people. It is here. It is upon us. But for the real ones, it never goes away. We'll get some more horror going on. So stay tuned for all that shit. And until the next time, we'll see you guys in the mall. Goodbye.
Bye, bitches. The Saw his family after all. That's just very important. Thank you, Tobe Hooper.
Don't skip the meat. The meat's the important part.
Yeah. My family knows good meat. We've always been it.
Take it easy.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.